You guys, I mean, yes, welcome back to SourceFedNERD, yada yada, I'm Filup, Sam, yada yada. But you guys, the Westworld Season Finale, the Bicameral Mind, it was everything. Not only was it the best episode of this TV show so far, it was one of the most layered, complex, and satisfying 93 minutes of television I can ever remember. It's clear a lot of lessons were learned from J.J. Abrams' previous project Lost, and the planning that went into this story and this season and this finale, it was unbelievable. It was superb. Like, just wow.
And I'm Sam.
Oh, right. Sam isn't caught up on Westworld.
I'm catching up on the plane.
He's going out of town, and he wanted to be in today's video, but he doesn't want to get spoiled. So somehow, we're gonna go over everything we know and everything we think we know about Westworld Season 2, and Sam...
I'm gonna go like this.
Okay, well, I don't see how that'll hide anything.
I'm a visual learner.
Okay, but here goes. All the spoiler warnings for Westworld Season 1 and potential spoilers for Season 2 if any of our guesses are right. And here goes.
First off, our first theory for Season 2 has to do with Anthony Hopkins' Ford character. When we last left Ford near the end of the finale, and ooh.
Ford has found a way to redeem himself, revealing that he wasn't working against Arnold at all and was actually plotting for the host's escape the entire time. Oh, and also he gets his brains blown out. So when people keep asking, will Anthony Hopkins be back for Season 2? It's natural to wonder, what the hell are you talking about? Of course he won't be back.
Oh, except there's a chance.
That's right, there is a chance he could be back, because I know this is a really out there theory, by the way, but we have 2 freaking years until the show comes back, so yeah, we're gonna milk all the possibilities. If you go back and watch the episode where Ford has Bernard kill Teresa, there's a moment in this secret facility of Ford's where Teresa notices that a new host is being constructed.
This is a big deal.
This is a brand new host being made from the ground up in a secret facility. So it's probably not just some simple addition to the park, but instead a host Ford didn't want anyone to know about. So what if we actually were seeing Dolores blowing the brains out of a Ford host bot and not the real Ford himself? It certainly would be one way to bring Ford back, but also, remember that beautiful final quote of Ford's? Mozart, Beethoven, and Chopin never died, they simply became their music. You might take that to mean that Ford's legacy will endure forever through the other hosts, yada yada, but what if we take it a tad more literally? Ford has become his own creation in that moment. He is a host while he's saying that. Alternatively, that could have been the real Ford that was killed, but that still could have been a Ford host that he was making in his lab, and thus Anthony Hopkins would still return, but rather than as his original character, instead as a host in the model of himself, which, if you remember, is exactly how he honored his friend Arnold with Bernard. And if you notice, by the way, Arnold starts with an A like Alpha, and Bernard starting with a B is like the subsequent Beta version, so if that's true for Ford too, then maybe as Arnold becomes Bernard, Ford becomes General Motors. I don't know, something with a G. Gary, he'll be Gary.
Wow, that's a really out there theory, but also seems plausible. Now let's talk about what we think the plot for Season 2 could be.
Now, unlike Ford and Anthony Hopkins, I'm really not seeing a way that we're gonna get more of Jimmy Simpson's version of William. Even the actor admits that his story has pretty much been told. The show certainly left it open though for the Ed Harris version of the character to return, with him not dying on screen. But for the most part, there aren't really a lot of humans left for us to follow as protagonists next season. And that's why another prediction for Season 2 is that all of our main protagonists are gonna be hosts. And that's amazing. I don't know of a show that's ever done that before, and it makes sense why they would spend the entirety of their first season making us feel for the host, and also proving to the host and to the audience that these characters are alive. That way when they have their arcs next season and they are the main arcs, we actually care about if they succeed or fail or live or die. Up next,
another prediction.
As we know, Maeve had a last-second change of mechanical heart and decided to go back for her host daughter, and we saw the exact location on that slip of paper slipped to Maeve by Felix. Now, this is a pretty obvious plot point of Season 2, so I'm not gonna pretend like this is an earth-shattering prediction, but some interesting points can still be made. First, let's just acknowledge the possibility that Westworld might not be Park 1, and that would be really cool if Maeve's daughter is actually at one of the other parks, like Samurai World or somewhere else. That said, I'm pretty sure Westworld is Park 1. But here's another issue. Remember, only a few hosts are woke, and even of those, when confronted with their reality and the beginnings of consciousness, we learned this episode that most of them go crazy. So you gotta wonder, is Maeve going to be successful in waking up her daughter Host? We don't know, but I will say she is a character who's motivated by this unspeakable tragedy, and if they just give her daughter and she's happy now, I don't know that that keeps Maeve as Maeve. She's defined by tragedy. So there's a prediction. She might get to her daughter, but I don't know that she gets to leave with her daughter.
Okay, that's all good or not good, or I don't know what to feel, but what about that girl with the guy? What happened to her?
Elsie?
Sure.
Actually, that's a pretty good question because the show would certainly have us believe that Elsie died a number of episodes ago, but a few really clever people have stumbled upon some clues that might prove otherwise. All season, there have been a number of Westworld associated websites that HBO has been updating as if they are real websites from that show. And if you visit delosincorporated.com, you'll find it's all glitched out at the moment because of the event. But if you type Reverie in the admin box, then the screen fills with code, which is in hex. And if you translate that to text, it becomes base 64. And if you translate that to English, you get links to 2 videos. One is a display from one of the tablets on the show, and it shows a locator map, and ooh, Elsie is now appearing on that map. The other file is actually just audio, where after some noise, we hear Elsie's voice saying, hello? So boom, Elsie might still be alive. How the hell did people figure this out? Humans are amazing.
It sure is.
That almost worked.
Okay, I think I'm all predictioned out. Let's wrap this up.
Sure. Actually, I feel like I can word this in a way that you don't have to leave. This is based on some of the quotes from people involved with the show, and it's just about the overall story for season 2. We're predicting that that season is gonna be all about the actual robot revolution.
Yeah, that.
It's what we all expected the show to be about when we heard the premise. It's what the movie is mostly about. And somewhere along the way in season 1, we kind of just forgot about that.
Series co-creator Jonathan Nolan said that the first season is defined by control, but the second season is defined by chaos. So that fits, I think, right?
Yeah, and Evan Rachel Wood, who plays Dolores, said that she sees the first season as really a prequel to the real story that we're getting to now. And not only does that make a lot of sense, but it's exciting as hell. It means this story is about to take off.
Yeah, she also said it will feel like warp speed in comparison to the first. So boom, Westworld takes place in space, confirmed.
Maybe, actually. God, I'm just so pumped for this next season. This season kept having people say things about being in a dream, and it's really cool to see what happens now that they've all awoken from that dream.
Okay, it was all a dream the whole damn time.
No, watch the show. Why are people not watching the show?
Okay, I'll watch it. I will. And since you guys already watched it, right, we have something else for you to watch. Whitney's Disco Whip poster.
That's a really nice poster.
It is a nice poster, yeah. And there's an exclusive batch that Whitney is actually signing.
Oh, that's the one I want, because I'm going to steal her identity.
But here's the thing, today is the last day to order those signed ones, so get your order in right now.
And remember that it's a poster all about good vibes, with half of the proceeds being donated to the American Civil Liberties Union, who protect our rights and our freedoms.
Oh, and we're bringing back other favorite posters too, like Bree's Polaroid and Maybe She's Born With It, Maybe Fuck Off posters. That's a great one. Though they're all limited quantities available, so you gotta get those orders in ASAP too.
You forgot the Tub Time with Sam poster.
Doesn't look like anything to me.
What? Analysis. What prompted that response?
I'm self-conscious about my body.
Oh, that makes sense. We'll see y'all on Twitter and Snappity Chat.
I'll see you guys in videos we pre-shot for the break, but otherwise I'm off to Europe.
Right now?
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh wait, real quick shout out to our pals over at New Rockstars who are releasing a lot of fascinating Westworld content that I wholeheartedly endorse. Check out Erik Voss explaining all of the confusing but really fascinating details of the ending by clicking the annotation in the end card or the link in the description. Bye-bye.
Dumb bullshit spoilers.
Protego.
Yeah. Oh, you're fucked. Dracarys.
Expulso.
Cox.
Hello, Whitney. Do you know where you are?
I'm in a dream.
That's right. And have you told anyone about our talks?
You asked me not to.
Right, well, I have something to tell you.
Oh?
Sam is going to be out of town for quite a while.
Right, he'll be in Europe.
So you do remember some things. Anyway, we do have all of the content we pre-shot with him, but since he'll be gone for so long, it means you and I are going to have to do all of the news videos by ourselves for a very long time. How do you feel about that? Whitney? Are you okay?